The new wave of COVID-19 had just hit Vietnam after going away for a while. This reminds me about the uncertainty of life. Not only the pandemic, I think life always has unpredictable events like that. So I think how we deal with uncertainty is a crucial part to determine our life's quality. First of all, I want to talk about the problems that usually go with uncertainty. I think the most common problems are fears and worries. So why do we fear or worry? I think because we have a perception of stability that was ingrained in our minds long time ago, even before we were born. We want to be safe, healthy, wealthy all the time. We want things to stay the same as something we call normal. But actually, life's changing all the time. All conditions, phenomena are impermanent. That's what the Buddha said. So change is inevitable. The change doesn't cause pain, but our resistance to change does. Yes, we resist change. We avoid change. We want things to be static, while their nature is dynamic. That mentality of resistance makes us suffer severely. So to deal with fears and worries amidst uncertainty, I use two methods. The first one is planning, and the second one is forgetting the plan. It may sound paradoxical, but please bear with me. Planning, including risk management. I think we all do planning and know how to plan to reach a certain goal. I also incorporate a risk management approach into my plan. Basically, based on my knowledge and experience about similar situations, I built a risk management approach that predicts what could go wrong and how to deal with that. This kind of plan helps me to reduce the chance that the risk can occur or reduce the impact of the unexpected events when it happens. As we base on our knowledge and experience to plan, and our knowledge only limits to the things we already know, sometimes things just happen out of the blue, something totally new and surprising that we have never ever seen before. The COVID-19 is an example of such a thing that we couldn't predict. This leads me to the next solution of dealing with uncertainty: forgetting the plan. I don't under-evaluate the benefits of plannings, but plannings always implies the things that we don't know yet. For me, life is almost mysterious. Sometimes I plan to do this way, then life just unfolds itself to me in a totally different way. At that time, I think I need to be flexible and courageous enough not to attach to the old plan and throw it away when it's not suitable for the new situation anymore. It's a long journey for me to master adaptability and flexibility to deal with change. At first, when hearing something bad happens, I also felt surprised, confused, or shocked. I think that's a normal reaction. So I think the very first thing to do when feeling worried is to calm down and to check in with myself to find some stillness. By practicing mindfulness, I learned not to let myself stay in a confusing state for a long time. I trained myself to live mindfully as much as possible so that when an unwanted event happens, I am able to be aware of my habit of resistance or avoidance, and I can take time to take care of the strong emotions. There's many ways to find some stillness. For me, I do yoga, meditate, go for a walk, journal, or cook. I never underestimate spending time for stillness. It really clears the mess in my mind, reduces my anxiety, and helps me to see the situation more accurately and more closely to its nature. Mindfulness and stillness help me to realize that resistant to unwanted circumstances only lengthens my suffering. Instead, I learned to accept the situation and trust the universe. I heard a Buddhist monk said that the universe is already perfect. I understand that it's not perfect in the way we want, consider, or assume, but it's just perfect in its mysterious way. Maybe it's perfect in the ultimate dimension. For example, a few years ago, I decided to quit a job that I had worked for 3 years. It's a challenging job that taught me a lot of valuable lessons, but at a certain point in my life, I felt that it didn't suit me anymore, with long working hours, including working overtime and at weekends, with lots of tight deadlines and especially a toxic environment. My health diminished, both physically and mentally. But I was anxious a lot because, according to societal standards, that job is a good job in a big multinational company with a good salary, with prospective promotion, and so on. And somebody said that my new job was not promising for my career path. And also, there's a societal stigma about giving up. It looked like I was a failure. I was not good enough. Anyway, I just listened to my heart and quit. At that time, I knew nothing about the next steps. I was uncertain and scared. The road in front of me was dark. I just could only see 2 meters away. And then I read a quote from Rumi that empowered me in that dark time. He said, "As you start to walk on the way appears." So I just moved forwards, step by step, and things got clearer and better. The new job helped me to balance my work and my personal life, and it also helped me to grow professionally. Gradually, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. So good or bad, who knows? Many similar situations taught me to trust the universe. There were times that I didn't solve the problem. When I surrendered, it solved itself. Maybe the universe already has a plan that is designed exclusively for me. Because we have different karma, we have different life lessons to learn. By talking about different, I mean besides some lessons about general principles such as impermanence or non-self that influence us all, we also have quite specific lessons for our specific circumstances because we have different story, different family, different upbringing, and so on. And we can't analyze karma in the way we usually do with other things in life. I don't try to figure out how karma works. I will get mad by doing that. Instead, I just surrender and let life unfold itself to me little by little. Most of the time, an unwanted event is a blessing in disguise for me. Evaluating something as good or bad is only how our intellectual mind works. But it doesn't reflect reality as it is, especially when we habitually project our feelings onto what is happening. According to Lao Tzu, an ancient philosopher, life is already taken care of by the Tao, also called the Way. So what is the Tao? The Tao is the absolute principle underlying the universe, combining within itself the principles of yin and yang, and signifying the way, or code of behavior that is in harmony with the natural order. The Tao is not a name or a thing, but the underlying natural order of the universe, whose ultimate essence is difficult to circumscribe due to it being non-conceptual, yet evident in one's being of aliveness. Many Taoist philosophers said that the Tao is an all-encompassing force that is beyond our comprehension and cannot be perceived by the senses. Lao Tzu used the Tao to refer to it because it lacks a word to describe it. The Tao for me can be seen as the Dharma in Buddhism or the ultimate truth of the universe. But whatever words we use to refer to it is not the truth. The truth is like the moon, and words are just like fingers pointing to the moon. So I think we can't understand the Tao by our intellectual minds, but by our direct experiential knowing. By surrendering and trusting the universe, I've learned not to force life and start flowing with it. The essence of Taoism is living in harmony with the Tao, or the way. To do that, Lao Tzu taught about the principle of Wu Wei, which is non-action, non-doing, or the paradox action of non-action. Wu Wei can also be translated as not forcing, which fits well in this context. Instead of intervening with the flow of life, or trying to control it in any way, one learns not to force it, to conform with one's desire, but goes with the flow. Living against the Tao is like swimming against the current. One takes a lot of effort to do that and will be exhausted soon. On the opposite, living in alignment with the Tao is like swimming along with the current. By doing this, one takes less effort and can enjoy swimming in a relaxing and calming state. So how do I know when I swim against the currents and when I swim along with the current? I just do a simple test. I ask myself, am I suffering now? If the answer is yes, then I need to check in with myself to understand my suffering, to see the roots of my suffering, and to adjust my awareness and my behavior to make them align with the way, with the cosmic principle. Another practice that makes me less obsessed with the destination and appreciating the process more is to contemplate death. I'm not saying that to scare anyone. The Buddha also taught his followers to contemplate death. The practice is not to create more suffering, but to look deeply at old age, sickness, and death, and shine the light of mindfulness on them. Then mindfulness can help us to transform these fears that are always lying in the depths of our consciousness. The practice improves our life quality because we know these fears always silently control our daily behaviors and destructively influence our lives. After the fear of death diminishes, I accept that no matter what we do, we all have the same final destination, which is in the grave. So there's no point for me to accumulate material possession or power or fame over necessity. I believe by my direct experiential knowing that it's the journey that brings me happiness, not the destination that I create in my mind. On the journey, lives always bring me surprising events. Just because they are different from what I planned, it doesn't mean they are bad. Sometimes I embrace the mantra that I heard from my yoga teacher. Everything is as it should be. It's so true. I give myself a chance to trust life, to trust the cosmos, and let everything unfold itself to me naturally. I'm not here to fight against anything. It's a total surrender, an open, welcoming, and embracing anything coming to my life. Eckhart Tolle once said, non-resistance, non-judgment, and non-attachment are three aspects of true freedom and enlightened living. When fears and worries of uncertainty do not significantly control me anymore, I can live fully in the present moment. I can do everything more easily, more mindfully, and I can truly touch the happiness in the here and now. I realize that all I should do is live mindfully in the present moment, mindful of every breath, every thought, every speech, every action. The future is built on the quality of my life at the present. So taking good care of the present moment is also taking good care of the future. So, to sum up, I deal with uncertainty by planning, not resisting change, trusting the universe, not forcing, and start flowing. I hope this video can be useful to you to some extent. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. That means a lot to us and will help us to bring more similar videos to you. And I also want to hear from you how you deal with uncertainty, so please comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next videos. Until next time, stay healthy, mindful, and at peace. Namaste.